Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please, gentlemen, remove your covers and join hats. I'm sorry, too many years. Join me in standing, saying a moment of silence, and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Do we have anybody recording this morning? If not, we'll proceed. Okay, as you can see, we've got a very short and concise meeting this morning. All right, the president's report. As you can see, your president is not with us this morning. Your president woke up and did not feel well, so she decided to err on safety and stay home. All right, Carol, you don't have anything for us, do you?
No, just a reminder that if you want to submit a resume to be on the board of directors or unit rep, the deadline is next Monday by 4 o'clock at the admin office.
Okay, thank you very much, Carol. Greg, would you like to do your report now, please, for the Cape Century? I thought so. Okay, continue on. All right, Gail, you're up.
My voice is still a few octaves lower, so as long as I don't start coughing, we'll be all set. The topic is new unit rep. As per the rules and Brookridge rules and regulations, section C, roles and responsibilities, under unit reps, the unit reps are an elected group of members whose purpose is to assist board with communications and special projects, promote improvements and community pride, and serve as voting clerk as necessary. There are currently 2 vacancies for the position of unit rep. We have received a resume from Sheila Walsh to fill one of the vacancies. So I would like to make a motion to appoint Sheila Walsh to the Brookridge unit reps.
I second that motion. Any discussion from the board? No discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye and raise your hands, please.
Aye. You'd like to come up? Okay, Sheila, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you have been appointed to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the governing documents of Brookridge Community Property Owners, and that you will, in all your acts, be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of the citizens of Brookridge and the welfare of its membership? Do you so swear? Okay, from the Lord. By the virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim you as a duly appointed unit representative and officially installed into office. Congratulations. Now you're official, yes. And we that. Hey, it's always good trouble.
Okay, off to new business. Let me get my sheet flipped here. All right, Ms. Webster's not here. We need to appoint the chairman for the election committee. Okay, there she is. We need to establish the election chairperson as per SOP 3.4. Appoint the chairperson of the election committee. Motion to approve Mary Sweeney as chairperson to the election committee.
I'll second.
Any discussion by members of the board? All in favor signify by raising your right hand and saying aye.
Aye.
Mary Sweeney, guess what? You are now the chairman of the election committee again.
She does a great job, people.
The other thing that we have to do this morning is we have to appoint the election committee as a body. The election committee needs to be established by the election committee members per SOP 3.4. Appointment of volunteers to the election committee. Motion to appoint the volunteers listed on the submitted list by the election chairperson, Mary Sweeney. See the next page. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you, but I'm not going to read all this long list of names.
I'll read them. Okay. Mary Sweeney is chair. Isabel Rad, Trudy Johnson, Kay Dittmer, Beverly Epstein, Vivian Blair, Pat Cass, Michelle Adams, Alice Gilliland, Shirley Sentel, Pat Sentel, Jim Westbrook, Thomas Freeman, and Joan Rizzatello. And the alternate is Carol Luzeri. Thank you for volunteering, everybody. I think you're going to have a good group to this year.
Okay, I have.
No, we can vote.
Okay, I have the list of names read. Do I have a second, correct?
I'll second it.
All right, any discussion by the board? All in favor, please signify by saying aye and raising your hand. Thank you.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, we're down to director's reports. Rosemary, would you like to start at that end?
Just to remind you, next Friday is Veterans Day. Our Veterans Committee has everything together. We will start our ceremonies at 9 a.m. outside, and then come in and we have speakers, we have music by the music-ears. The men's club has volunteered to cook our luncheon, and I have volunteers from the ladies of Brookridge who are going to help serve. So I hope everybody will attend. This is important. We have some very good speakers this time, and we're hoping that we can get many, many people to come to this thing. The other thing I have is speaking is about the Fall Festival, which is the 18th of November. It's 19th of November, excuse me. We are going to need some volunteers, and I'm sure the ladies of Brookridge will come forward to help with putting this on. We have multiple raffles, we have a Chinese auction, we're going to have music, a liquor basket raffle, a Thanksgiving dinner raffle, and we're working in conjunction with the Golf Association. All the proceeds will, after expenses, will go to BCPO. So this is November 19th. It starts at 10 a.m. Also at the Pro Shop in the afternoon, they will be having music and dancing. So, and it's open to all residents, golfers and non-golfers. So I hope you can attend, and I'd like to see some volunteers come forward because we have many vendors and we have many things that we need to man the tables for. Thank you again.
I missed the last unit rep meeting, so I don't know what's happened there. They're just moving on. You're still getting people. How many people did you have the last time, new residents to? 12, okay. They're still coming in. I don't know how we have any more room for them. The other thing I'd like to touch on is I'm heading the Rules and Regulations Ad Hoc Committee. And we are now, we have submitted 8 rules to the board, and we're hoping that we can get to them probably this month. And we are submitting, I think, 7 or 8 more that we've completed. And this rules committee, they're very hardworking. They are learning what our rules are and why we have those rules. And they're also starting to learn about the deed restrictions, which, you know, are very important. People don't realize it. They really dictate what everybody can do. So I'm hoping at the next meeting we start bringing all of these forward for the board to authorize, review and authorize, and for everybody else who's out there to hear what the changes are. Thank you.
Jerry? All right, I have one thing from the board president. She is very sorry that she could not be here this morning. She woke up, she did not feel well. She decided to err on the side of safety to see what's going on with herself. She has also asked me to thank Nancy LaCara and her team that just put on the yard sale. They raised $1,200 for the BCPO, and I would like to see them thanked very well for that. I myself, yeah, we'll get a letter of thanks sent to them accordingly. I myself have nothing at this time. Do you as members have anything to be brought before Rich? Would you like to start?
Ken, just to remind everybody, budget vote, November 15th. You can come up here to the clubhouse or turn your ballots in at the office. The box is down there. So be sure to vote on the budget on the 15th of November.
Rich Stratton, Unit 3. Rosemary, you mentioned there's music over at the golf club? Yeah. In the afternoon? Yeah. We have a contract here in the stage for music here.
This is the golf, as far as I remember, the Golf Association has music scheduled, a group or something scheduled for over there for the evening part of the festival.
Yes. For the evening?
Yes.
Nighttime?
Yeah, like 5 o'clock. I think they were planning on doing 5 o'clock.
Because I know we have a contract with a band up here.
Yes, I know. And
Okay, for
the festival runs from 10 to 4.
Okay, 10 to 4. I just want to make sure that the board sets up this place here for the people to dance. We need tables? So, I don't know, nobody knows the...
We are working on that, and we meet every Thursday for the Fall Festival Committee, and we are aware of that, and plans are made.
Did you submit the thing for the checks for the band?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I have to have that in my hand to give the band.
Yes, sir. That day.
Because I did the contract that day.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Is there anybody else? Sheila, would you like to go, and then I'll get you, Miss Wells?
Sheila Walsh, Unit 3. I was told I had to ask Carol this question. When you're going to new residents... Can't hear you. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. When you're going to residents' houses, you know, to welcome them and everything, a lot of times they're not home. You can't explain things to them. So we were talking about it, but if we have, say, 10 new residents, I think if we invited them to come to the clubhouse, you know, in a room, just have some coffee, and it would be better to welcome them that way. This way, if they have questions, other residents might be able to, new residents might be able to ask. I know they tried it once before.
That is something that we've talked about with the unit reps. And that is something we're hoping to bring back, it's coordinating it. And I think that was a nice thing, but I've been here 8 years, so it was before my time, but it doesn't matter, instead of doing it once, because I think it was like once a year or something, and maybe, have it 4 times a year, or something like that, or even once a month, or whatever, however many people you have. And that's something that we can discuss at the next unit rep meeting, because I think it's really important.
Okay, I was just told that Carol she's the one to go to.
But that's something that we'll talk about.
Oh, okay, I just, you can't have like 50 people come, but even if it's 2 groups, that you get together.
A couple dozen people would be
Yeah.
fine. It keeps it containable.
Okay,
And then we have a better idea as to how many people are coming.
all right, well, if there's a committee on that,
It's gonna be the unit reps.
Okay,
It'll be part of the unit reps.
okay.
Okay, thanks, Sheila.
Ms. Walls? And I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name before. No, I was thinking
Good morning. Linda Walls, Unit 4. In regards to our agenda today, what about said no minutes to be approved? I know we didn't have a meeting in November. November, we would have approved the September workshop minutes. Shouldn't they have been approved today, since they've never been approved? Right, we didn't have an October. In October, we would have approved the September workshop minutes. So they've never been approved.
Okay, I will look into that, and if I was amiss, if I forgot to put them in, then it'll be at the next meeting, I apologize.
Okay,
Thank you, Linda.
you're welcome. I had some more questions, but I think I'll just wait until all the board members are here at the next meeting.
Mrs. Story, please.
Marion Story, Unit 6. Ken, have you had a chance to speak to the attorney about the wordage on the amendment changes, what it's implying versus what's actually written?
Okay, we were talking about the one in regards to attendance, correct?
We were talking the one where it says originally what went out on the ballot is that the board would have the right to remove them after this, they get the letter after the second one if they don't show for the third. And it was said at last meeting that the interpretation of that is now going to be that the board member will have more or less submitted their resignation. Very different wordage, and you had said you would check with the attorney about that.
Okay, the verbiage text that was presented at the town hall meeting is exactly what the attorney presented to us, all right? What is also on your ballot is exactly what the attorney presented to us.
So therefore, it's going to be that the board, if the board member gets a letter for the second miss, they don't show for the third, then the board is going to have the right. It's not going to be implied, as Carol said at the meeting, that they have put in their resignation.
It's going to be accepted as they have submitted resignation.
That's not what it says in the wording on our amendments.
I'm sorry, I am not a legal attorney, nor am I going to argue as.
I'm not arguing it, I'm asking a question. I'm simply asking a question for clarity for our residents, because what they're signing off on is not what you're actually saying. So there's a big difference there, and clarity should be there for them.
And like I said, we have submitted it to the attorney has signed off on it, all right? We are currently sitting in this position right now. We have had a member who's basically turned in everything and has not turned in a letter of resignation. Our hands are tied. We can't replace that slot on the board, so we're running one down, and that's why the attendance policy was basically put in place. And it also covers another issue because it was brought up last year at a board meeting that you wanted a professional code of conduct. This is step one toward that.
Okay, so basically what we're saying is the wording on the amendment that the board can remove them is the wording that's staying.
Yes, ma'am.
Rosemary, I have a question for you. Were you able to look into those charges that had no receipts for?
Are you talking about the Amazon charges?
Yes.
Yes, we have looked at that.
And were their receipts turned in or no?
No, they were not.
So we're paying bills without
And that was
receipts.
for the prior bookkeeper.
Oh, I don't think it makes a difference who the
Yeah,
bookkeeper is. I
but
think
those
it makes a
receipts were
difference.
not
as to-
turned in, and there were no checks written for Amazon.
Okay, well, I have a question, and this is no offense to the gentleman standing over there, but we are paying $90 a meeting for a sheriff, $180 a month. I actually asked to see those, and I have an email here from Carol that says, for those, there are no bills turned in, no receipts or anything. So you're signing off on checks for those, for the sheriff, without having any bills or any receipts for our income tax. But more importantly, miscellaneous expenses on our budget, which I know you're in charge of, says it was $143 as of June. Well, at $180 a month, times about 8 months is about $1,400. So how can our budget that we sent out to the residents show miscellaneous expenses only spent of $143 when we're way over that already, and you only allowed 1,000? I mean, it was said that the sheriff was being paid out of miscellaneous expenses, so how do we account from June, since we had a sheriff since probably April? We had the sheriff here, it's going back to April and May. Okay, well, even at that, it's still over 143, Arlene. Thank you for clarifying that, but it's still over 143. So again, there's an error on our budget. And we're paying checks that have no receipts for.
Excuse me, it didn't come under miscellaneous expenses, and I also emailed that to you, Mary. It came out of miscellaneous board expenses.
And that's what the item line here is, miscellaneous board expenses. Well, miscellaneous expenses, you want me to I'll put the word board in, but there's only one item in our budget that says miscellaneous, and it says $143. So this is incorrect as of June also. And that, it's just kind of weird that we can't get accurate statements. Thank you.
All right, do we have anybody else?
Tom, did you have something?
Okay, Patrona, please.
Again, can I say to the audience? My reminder. It's the time of year that I get to remind you every time I get a chance. Okay, just a reminder, I need packets from all clubs. If you haven't filled out a packet for 23, please do so. If I don't have that by December 31st, you don't have a room reserved. Sorry. Also, the news and views dates that articles are due to me. The paper is now in your folders. Please check those, and we need to adhere to those dates very closely in order to get the news and views back before the end of the month. Okay? And come out to the Fall Festival and have a good time. There will also be at the Fall Festival, if I can add this, it's open enrollment for insurance. If you want to change, or if it's time for you to get your insurance through Medicare supplement, there are going to be some of those folks here, and they're very anxious to talk to people, and they're going to have lots of good stuff to give away, they said. So if you come out to the Fall Festival, stop by and talk to them. If you don't want to change your insurance, stop by and talk to them and get what they've got to offer. Okay? Have a great day. Get the freebies, that's right.
I have one question for you, Patrona, before you leave. Are we still a precinct for the election?
Yes.
Next week, okay. Okay, we've not noticed, we've not announced it or lately.
It's from 8 till 7.
7 to 7.
7 to 7, 7A to 7P. We are voting precinct, but we are not early voting. We've had a lot of people come that think we're for early voting, and we don't do that here. Huh? Precinct voting? Just that. Right?
Yep.
We've had a lot of people this week.
George?
Hello. George Clare, Unit 4. There's been a lot of talk about this around, and I want to know if it's true. Are we allowing non-paid people in this community to run the radar gun? Are we allowing non-paying people to run the radar gun in this facility? And if it is,
Greg is sitting there shaking his head no.
okay. Because it has been brought up, a lot of people are discussing it, and I think it needs to be brought forward, and if this is what's happening, but evidently it's not, so, okay.
Thanks for the question, George.
Thank you.
George, I will tell you that there was people that had come forward that said that they would volunteer to do it. But we have not allowed them, we have a paid person that does it.
Okay, if I have no other questions from the audience and no other questions or comments from staff or employees, I would like to entertain a motion to get out of here this
So
evening.
move.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Have a wonderful morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your attendance.